One game series that always intrigued me and I never got to play is God of War. I just didn't have a PlayStation 2 when it came out. Now almost all the God of War games are remastered on platforms that I own, and in the end of the year the newest installment will come out. It seems like a good idea to start with this series and take a look at the first game. In God of War you play as Kratos. Kratos is a demigod and he is pissed off. And I mean seriously pissed off. Why? Well, he accidentally killed his wife and daughter. You know, he used to be a normal human being, a Spartan captain to be exact. At some point he was killed, and on his way to his afterlife he swore revenge and begged the god of war, Ares, to revive him, so he could defeat his killer. In exchange, he would be Ares' eternal servant. This wasn't enough for Ares though. He wanted to detach Kratos from the mortal world entirely. Kratos still had a tiny bit of love in him for his wife and daughter, so they had to die. Ares created an illusion and made them appear as if they were one of Kratos' enemies, and not long after, he killed him. And this pisses Kratos off. He wants revenge. Again. This time he wants to kill a god, the god of war itself. Kratos' main weapons are the Blades of Chaos. A pair of blades attached to chains that are wrapped around his wrists and forearms. With these blades he hacks and slashes his way through hordes of different enemies who usually seem to be based on mythical Greek creatures. Minotaur, Medusa, etc. Once in a while you have a bigger creature or a boss fight, which you usually have to finish off with a QTE or quick time event. So you have to press the button that appears on the screen. You also get special moves from several gods that help you in your battle, like Poseidon, Athena and even Aphrodite, even though she's Ares' wife. That doesn't seem like a good marriage. Well, if you killed your enemies, they leave orbs behind. Red orbs are for upgrading Kratos, green are for health and blue for your special moves. God of War is a really pretty game for 2005. Right now in 2017 it looks decent until the camera zooms in, then you can count the polygons. Anyway, the design of the graphics and the animations are so good that you don't really notice the age of the game. It's still good looking, better than a lot of indie games anyway. This shows what a good design can bring you. The sounds are really great. The music is a mix of the epic classical soundtrack and traditional Greek music. It's great, and the music is dynamic. When there's action, the tempo goes up, and in puzzle section, it's more focused on the atmosphere. The sound effects are good, but not great. One thing that bothered me was that the sound mixing is pretty bad. The cutscenes have too loud voices, and you cannot lower the volume in the in-game options. It seems that only the sounds during the gameplay are affected if you do. I played the remaster on the PS3 and it's a good conversion, with one exception. There is a timed puzzle at about 75% of the game that gives you about 5 seconds less to complete in the remastered version. These 5 seconds are needed, and without them your time window is extremely tight. So, this puzzle is basically broken. I think I tried for a good hour and I almost gave up. It's really frustrating. Another thing you have to keep in mind is that in older games like this, sometimes things are not clear. God of War is linear, but it's not always obvious where to go. For example, there is a section in the beginning where you have to tip over a huge statue in order to reach a ladder. This is not clear at all, and I was stuck here both times I played this game. Also, the camera isn't always great, and the platforming can be annoying. I probably died more often because I missed a platform or slided down a ledge than by the enemies. There are many old games with similar complaints and they're easy to overcome, but you have to be aware before you start playing. This is an old game, and it doesn't pretend to be new, unlike Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. God of War is an extremely bloody and violent game. You literally break your opponents in half, cut off their limbs and gut your enemies. There's also nudity and suggested sex in the game. I must admit, this was one of the reasons why I was intrigued with it when I was younger. This is the scene I was talking about.
Stay, Kratos. Just a bit longer.
We've reached Athens. Get your things and get out.
What do you think? I'm curious about it, so please leave a comment. Anyway, now the conclusion. God of War is obviously a classic game, so by no means it is bad, but the big question here is if it's still enjoyable in 2017. I must say, yes, it is. Of course, it doesn't have the same impact on me now as it would have if I played it in 2005. But still, the game is great. Apart from that one puzzle and, oh yeah, the last boss fight. That one sucks. I can recommend it anyway to at least play it once. On easy, or if you actually want a challenge, on the higher difficulty level. Anyway, now to the conclusion. God of War is obviously a classic game, so by no means is it bad, but the big question here is if it's still enjoyable in 2017. I must say, yes, it is. Of course, it doesn't have the same impact on me now as it would have if I played it in 2005, but the game is still great. Apart from that one puzzle, and oh, yeah, the last boss fight. That one sucks. So, I would recommend to at least play and finish God of War once, on easy, so you know what's it about, and on the higher difficulty level if you want a challenge. So this was my review of God of War. I hope you all enjoyed it, and like always, like and subscribe and share. And if you have anything to say about this, just leave a comment. That's it. Bye bye.